What's your name and what do you do?
How do you do? My name is Big Ian. I'm a writer, I'm a conference speaker, I'm a filmmaker, a dementia campaigner, and I help people help people. That's pretty much what I do. And if there's a need somewhere and people think, well, wouldn't it be nice if this happened? I'm the guy who usually tries to make it happen.
There's no escaping this, Big Ian. It's been a tough year for everyone. But what's been your personal highlights?
It's been quite nice because I've had a year off being Big Ian in a way, right? I know it sounds silly, but I've just been Ian. It's really quite nice. And I've had time with the family and spending time in the fresh air and appreciating things like birdsong and feeding the birds and little things like that, and being there for your friends and, you know, just generally the simple things, taking pleasure in the simple things and realising just how lucky we are.
When you look back, what did you learn during the first lockdown?
I learnt how little I need. Money meant nought. It really did mean nothing, because the difference between a rich man and a poor man during the lockdown was how many jigsaws you had. And I just realised I really am quite lucky here. I do what I love and I love what I do, and that makes me a really rich man. It made me realise there were two bank accounts, and one is for money and one is for feelings and emotions. And can I be right? In one of them, I'm pretty much a billionaire. I just learned to appreciate, and it's a pretty amazing thing. I honestly think that in years to come, we should have a lockdown week where we just do that for a week, to just turn everything off, to stop the world from spinning, to stop the rat race for a week. I think it would have a massive impact on the world. I also learned that if you've got that time, you can do things really creatively. So I went into the garden after it all got done up, and I wrote a little book called A Pocket Full of Kindness, and somehow 228 pages, like a great big cuddle, came out, and this has sold 4,000 copies in the last 2 months without a printer or Amazon. It's amazing what you can do. You don't know what you can do. Just let yourself go and just really enjoy what you do. Well, I learned the importance of community because I looked after the people that were around us. We had a gentleman called Steve, and Steve's 70 and recently widowed. Another guy called George, who was 80, and we helped them out with food, and we helped them out with all manner of stuff, and I took the papers around because they wouldn't go out. And then George one day said, by the way, what's your house called? I said, it's called the White House. He went, oh, I thought it was. He says, I've made you this. And so that's what he did. He made us this for our house. How lovely is that? And then Steve, who had been widowed, and I used to teach with his wife for 15 years, he says, I haven't been near any, used to be a head of art, he says, I've been on my potter's wheel, he says, and I've made this for you, Ian, and I've made this for Em. Like, how beautiful is this? And this is community. Community has just come together during this, and I think it's going to stay. I think it's going to stay. We're looking, the goalposts have changed, but I tell you what, it still feels great when you're stuck.
We're approaching the Christmas period, so what are you planning to do to support those around you?
Well, I go out for a walk every day and I ring me mates, my circle of trust, my handful of diamonds, the people that I really, really think about. And I help them and that helps me. And there are two lots of people in this. There are the people who can help, and I often fall into that category. I'm a person that people tend to come to, and I am a mother hen and I love it. And then there's the people who need help. But the people who need help, the trick is ask for help, because you're not actually a burden in any way. You are giving somebody the opportunity to help you. And so it's not isolation, it's isolation. And what you're doing is you are giving somebody the opportunity to help you. And that is a gift in itself. So we can all come together. A lot of companies are bringing me in to motivate staff, and it's a wonderful thing, absolutely wonderful.
What are you doing to keep yourself positive?
Well, I'm looking after me as if I'm one of my mates. It's a really odd idea, because really we're quite dreadful at looking after ourselves, but we're really good at looking after other people. So I kind of look on me as one of my mates. So I think, do you know what? He'd probably like to go out for a walk. He'd probably like to go for a swim. He'd probably like to talk to one of his mates. He'd probably like to do a podcast with some Fulham supporter and try and make him still feel positive. And this is a lovely thing. And it just seems to work.
What would you like to say to inspire others? What's your closing message?
Well, I would say get involved in a thing we're doing this Christmas. It's called the Big Christmas Care Sing-Along. The whole world is a part, and we're going to try and bring everybody together. We're putting on an online concert sing-along so that somebody in a care home, somebody in their own room, somebody in their own house, in your own house, you can put this on. It's going to feature people from all over the world singing and being together with messages. Do you know what? We're going to give people a Christmas to remember in a year that many would like to forget, because we hope at the end of this year the score reads COVID-19, kindness.